Hello and welcome everyone. I'm Shantanu. I'm a part of CloudFant and welcome to our latest webinar, Host and Secure Your WooCommerce Store on DigitalOcean. Uh, this webinar, as all of you are aware, is powered by CloudFant. CloudFant is a platform that helps you host your WooCommerce stores on your preferred cloud, be it AWS, DigitalOcean, Vultr, and it offers you the maximum performance, security, and cost optimization right out of the box. If any of you have any WooCommerce stores, we'll encourage you to check out CloudFant. With us on the webinar today, we have Sunil Kumar Sharma. Sunil is a senior manager at the Better India. And we also have Kshitij. Kshitij is the co-founder of CloudFant. Many of you would have seen him in some of our previous webinars as well. Sunil, would you go ahead and introduce yourself to our audience, please?
Yes. So, hi everyone. I am Sunil Kumar Sharma, and I'm a WordPress developer having 10 years of experience. Currently, I'm working as a senior manager technology in Better India. It's a positive news platform and which has millions of traffic every week. Also, I have some plugins in WordPress directory, and I am uh, like regularly contributing in WordPress events like WordCamps and local meetups. So yeah, this is all about me.
Awesome. Thanks, Sunil. Kshitij, could you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Sure. So hi everyone, I'm Kshitij. I'm co-founder of CloudFront, and I have around 10 plus years of experience around backend technologies and WordPress. And yeah, before building CloudFront, actually, I have worked for agencies and a lot of companies around WordPress where I actually gained the knowledge around performance security. And security is a topic that we'll be covering today. So yeah, that would be.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. So, as you can see, both of our speakers today have over a decade of experience. And just to be clear, we are based out of Bangalore, India. We are doing this, recording this out of India. And just to move ahead, let's set the agenda. We want to keep this webinar crisp and short. And our entire focus is going to be on these five sections, really. We first want to just quickly talk about the rise of security attacks on WooCommerce in the recent times. And then we want to talk about the top three vulnerabilities that we have seen that lead to let open up websites for these attacks. We'll talk about choosing the right hosting for your WooCommerce store. We'll talk about avoiding null themes and plugins. And we'll talk about ensuring regular maintenance and updates for your websites. So just going ahead, I think the first point here is the rise of security attacks on WooCommerce. And Sunil and Kshitij, I'd love your thoughts on these, but this is the sort of the numbers that our team came up with. WordPress sites experience around 13,000 attacks per day, and 70% of WordPress installations are vulnerable to online attacks. What are your thoughts about these numbers? Maybe Sunil, if you want to take this first.
So honestly, like I'm not much surprised with these numbers. A lot of WooCommerce store owners are not aware about vulnerabilities on their website, and they never fix them. And so the 70% is maybe an underestimate, maybe. So yeah.
Got it. Got it. Kshitij, any thoughts?
Yeah, so I think, yeah, these numbers are correct only. And the main reason I feel that plugins and the knowledge around security, like I feel that a lot of people don't dig deeper into those. And that's where they open a lot of actually issues around the websites and yeah, that hackers exploit. Yeah, so that could be one reason.
Got it. Got it. Uh, Sunil, personally, I have seen a lot of store owners concerned about security of their store, right? And all three of us have also met physically at a lot of WordPress meetups, and we have spoken to a lot of WordPress website owners, and they're always concerned about security. Security is the hot topic right now. What, according to you, are the top three most common vulnerabilities that hackers exploit on online stores?
Yes, security is like it's a big thing nowadays, and security is a big concern for everyone. And the top three vulnerabilities is like you can say about poor hosting, like shared hosting vulnerabilities and weak server configurations, and might be lack of backups. Like if our website got hacked, then backups save our life. Okay, so second thing is like if someone used any null WordPress theme and plugin, and then third is lack of maintenance and updates are the basic things which because of all these we stuck in vulnerabilities. And store owners choose I just want to say like store owners choose reliable hosting and always buy theme and plugins from trusted stores like Theme Forest or maybe WordPress.org. Like we can use free themes as well, and keep everything up to date on maybe weekly basis, monthly basis, whatever uh, like feels you good, and like your store safety matters basically. So yeah.
Got it. And I think just to sort of second Sunil's point and draw the viewer's attention to the screen, this is again set of numbers that our team came up with through some research. So 47% of websites are hacked because of poor hosting. As Sunil had mentioned, that's one of the very, very critical things. 32% are sort of compromised because of themes and plugins, and 27% due to maintenance and updates. Kshitij, what are your thoughts? Do you agree with Sunil? Do you have anything more to add here?
Yeah, so whatever Sunil has mentioned, yeah, that is like the top reasons why we have these issues around WordPress ecosystem. And apart from that, yeah, I would say that plugins are the most overused and like one of the most critical things which are causing these issues. So I would say like plugins should be dead ideally in these scenarios. When we talk about performance, when we talk about security, we shouldn't rely a lot on plugins because there are multiple layers. We use proxy as well, we use web servers and all those things again. So security should start with those, and eventually at the end, we should have security on PHP and then plugins maybe. So I would say that hosting providers should have these things inbuilt, and that's what we are doing at CloudFront as well. We are making these things inbuilt in the platform itself so that users don't have to rely on plugins or anything else. So I think, yeah, that this is one thing that I would just like to add here. Yeah.
Got it. I think I would love to sort of double click on that point, the point that plugins are dead. That's something that we are trying to really popularize with CloudFant, as Kshitij mentioned. That's the problem that we are trying to attack, and we'll talk more about that. So maybe we can, guys, sequentially go through each of these items, right, and understand how a website owner should mitigate these vulnerabilities. Let's maybe start with hosting, since that's the statistically the most critical piece when website due to which websites get hacked. Kshitij, you're the expert here. What are the most common issues you've seen people have, and why do you recommend that people host their websites on DigitalOcean or their own VPS?
Right. So basically, like when we take managed hosting or like shared hosting for that matter, so uh, one of the issues that we face is we have very limited and control over server. And servers can have architectural problems, which we cannot do anything about. Then they can have these weak server configurations. Then user permissions that is written here. They can have single user can have access to multiple applications. That is like again part of architecture issues only. They may not have malware scanners. So users may be relying a lot on plugins again to make sure that malware is not there. These things actually can be provided via hosting itself. And then lack of mitigation steps as well, which is written here. If your website is hacked, then what you are supposed to do? And then you are going to create tickets, and the tickets are getting uh taking like 2 days, 3 days. By that time, like your server will be down, and yeah. So instead of that, there should be proactive measures in the platform itself, hosting itself, where you can just do some things like lock core files, clean up core files, or uh, at least get data as well, like what exactly went wrong. So those things should be available on platform itself rather than, again, the issue, I'll tell you one more issue, like if you when your website gets hacked, if you go installing this WordFence, hackers literally change WordFence files itself. In that situation, what you'll do? So those things, again, the hosting, if you don't have that hosting, you literally get locked in those situations. So I think those things can be avoided. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. So I think even what I've seen personally is a lot of people, when they face these security attacks, they just slap on a plugin and think that their problems will suddenly get solved. But that's not the solution. That's maybe a stopgap solution, but that will also get compromised in certain time. That's maybe what you're mentioning. And Sunil, any additional thoughts from you on this, on hosting specifically?
So like I'm totally agree with the Sudhir, but I just want to add one thing like before purchasing any hosting, just check reviews about that hosting. It's more important about what people say about that hosting is most important thing we should do. So like if we have more negative feedback, then we should avoid that kind of hosting or maybe that hosting provider. So yeah.
Got it. Got it. Awesome. Kshitij, maybe this is the time we also, since this section is entirely on hosting, maybe this is the time we also talk about CloudFront a little bit to our customers, right? And to our viewers,
Sure.
sorry. And so you've built CloudFront. Could you maybe show our viewers right now what kind of features you've built into CloudFront, and how those things help avoid some of these security vulnerabilities and security breaches? I'll maybe you can maybe share your screen, you can pull up the product, you can just give us a quick glimpse.
Okay. Can you give me access to sharing?
Do Can you try now?
Yeah, now it's visible. Okay. Let's see. Share. So is my screen visible?
Yep.
Okay, great. All right. So first, I'll probably start with. So I have already opened the platform, and we have security tab here. So I'll start with like few points. So first, as I mentioned about architecture, so architecture will not be seen here, but in a website, like in the CloudFront, we have two websites here, for example. So in this, you will see that we have separate users, and both of these users, they cannot access each other's applications file. So each application has different users. So this is really important. So in a lot of places, I've seen that single user gets created for all the applications. So one application goes down, it takes every other, because then hackers can just propagate. So architecturally, like this is something that we have added, this literal user segregation for this thing, application files. Next, we have PHP process segregation as well. So both of these applications have their own PHP processes again. So if one process is slowing down, or if one application is slowing down or is having any issues at all with PHP, it won't impact the other application. So other application will keep on working as it is. So because like memory leaks can happen, and like hackers attacked and they injected some script again in those scenarios. So what will happen in our scenario? Only that website will be down. The other website, it will keep on running because the PHP processes are not shared. Similarly, we have a lot of PHP settings as well. By default, that we push, one is open based directory, which means that use this PHP process for this application will only be able to use this directory. And these two are shared directories. But for application point of view, this will be done. So why this is important is, if your other website is hacked, user tries upload some PHP file or anything and tries to execute that using some other URL, it won't work. it will simply throw an error that outside open base directory. So architecturally, again, the files are safe in a way that one application file cannot execute, or one PHP process cannot execute the process of another application. Similarly, like whenever we have attacks, so in attacks, hackers follow a pattern of attacks. In that, they will try to download file, they try to get user ID, then they try to, I mean, then they try to get process, CPU information. So basically, basic probing they will do. Probing means like before hacking, they try to get data first. What exactly are the vulnerabilities? So in PHP, there are a lot of such functions which we are disabling by default, so that even if your website is hacked, like you put a plugin, right? Application side, we cannot do anything. Somebody put a plugin which has hacking script or something. Even in that scenario also, hackers will not be able to propagate that attack because they will not get these informations which are required to propagate the attack. So these kind of settings we have added in PHP, default PHP setting. Next, we have for database also, we have very similar structure. For database, for each database, we create separate user. Again, this user is also not shared, so that in case one database gets compromised, user will not have access to other databases. So I've seen this thing as well, that users, so if you see cPanel, you can create user, and most likely I've seen a lot of people create multiple websites using that same user. So that is not a good practice. So we forcefully actually do this separate user creation. We don't allow like to share users. That is to make sure that even if one website gets compromised, users will not have access to other database, other database, other applications database. So this is one thing like that we have on. Then again, we have a lot of security. I will quickly go through. So we have malware scanner. So in case your website got hacked, right? So they usually change core files and plugin files. You can just click on start scan, and this will show you if any file is hacked. It will show you what exactly went wrong. If some core file is changed or some plugin file is changed, it will just show you the scan result, and then you can directly work on that. You can just open file manager and directly change that. Right now, there is nothing, so everything is fine. Similarly, we have security. This is a bit more advanced. I will not cover this. But apart from that, like we have other options as well. So one of the most important option is firewall. So what firewall does is basically it stops a lot of attack formats. So whenever user is sending a request, they can have different kind of payloads. For example, login attack is there. They will put random payloads. So if for XSS attack, they will try to put scripts via query parameters. So this firewall blocks all those things. And this is happening on the server level itself. So you don't have to install plugin. One more important thing, you don't have to install plugin for any of these. That is one thing that we have done. So this is happening on server. Server itself is stopping the attack. Your PHP is safe and secure. Similarly, there are other things as well, block sensitive file access. So before attack, like there is probing, hackers will try to get more and more data about what WordPress version you have, what plugin version you have, what theme version you have, and what kind of plugin you have. And then get details, htaccess detail dot php.in if you are using. So in those scenarios also, like they cannot start an attack if they don't have information about your system. So we saw that here also we were doing something like this. These functions, they were blocking data about the system. And similarly, like here also, this will simply block all that information. The attack itself will not start that easily. They will face a lot of trouble, even if you have compromised PHP script. So I guess, yeah, I mean, these are broad things. And hotlink protection, we have put and lock WP core files. If you are under active attack, right, you can just simply go ahead and click this log WP core file. Yeah, first you will go to malware scanner, then you can just log this core file so that further modification doesn't happen. Then you have the hotlink protection as well. Hotlink protection is literal theft of resources. You have images on your website, right? Anybody can use that image to their own website. ultimately your server is serving. If you have 200 KB of image and it gets called like 10 times, something like that. So you will get 2 MB of bandwidth loss. So hot link protection stops that. This is also happening on server level only. So I think, yeah, these kind of things we have added here. And one more thing is like in the architecture, WP config as well. So in WP config file, we have not given read permission to any other user except the main user of the application, which is this user. This user. Again, this is one thing, like when if your server or website gets hacked, somehow user, even though if you have these settings, they will not be able to propagate the attack. But let's say even if they are able to propagate, WP config contains critical information. If they go there and they have read permission of WP config of other directories, they will simply go and like check that and get all the database information and any other information for that matter, all the secret information, salt, encryption keys and all. So WP config also, we have made sure that only this user will have access to this file's WP config. Other users, even if they get hacked and somehow they are able to propagate, they'll not be able to see other websites WPX config details. So I mean, these kind of things we have done. So first level is like to stop probing. Then okay, after probing, let's say user got something, then how to stop the attack itself from propagation. And then okay, the propagation is also going on. Then to handle and like getting what exactly is wrong. So that data also we'll get from the platform itself. So we don't have to worry about installing plugin, using plugin websites. So if you have huge website, right? If you go for scanner or PHP is not good for these kind of things. Like it's like it's not built actually to handle large information, large data set kind of things, long running processes and all. It's usually not good for that. So if you have all these things on hosting and on server level, right, it's usually better and it is handled properly. So yeah, I think I have covered the important parts here. And Shantanu, you can, yeah, maybe
Sure.
take over.
I'll maybe take over the screen and just one quick point, right, Kshitij? So a lot of these features that you described, a lot of features, and some of these maybe fairly technical for some of the audience that's viewing this webinar. So are all of these extremely essential? And like, if I don't know how to configure these, if I don't know how to set these up, then what do I do? How should I approach the whole thing? Could you just maybe a quick answer?
So I mean, yeah, so for some basic and important things, we are giving them by default. So those PHP settings, segregation of user, PHP process, and we are giving all those things by default. We are not giving options users to change that. And on top of that, that firewall and other options that we are seeing, users can just add that to enhance. So,
Got
right.
it.
And that again depends on the user themselves. If they want, they can do, but it would be good that if they do,
Got it.
but it will depend on use case mostly. Yeah.
Awesome. Cool. I think maybe just a quick call out. If you are willing to just explore some of these features, we do offer free credits on CloudFund. You can just go ahead and sign up and explore these features. Moving on, right? Sunil, so a lot of hacks also start from plugin and themes, right? And you have had extensive experience working on these. What do you suggest? How should a user mitigate risks around these?
So like yes, like plugin and themes are the common things for vulnerabilities. So basically, we can follow like 3 4 basic rules. So first thing, like if you are like if you have your own custom theme or plugin, then it should be well coded. And if you are using any external, like if you are purchasing theme plugins from some another store, so uh, recall the answer. Okay, so first thing is like choose well coded theme and plugins, and always try to buy plugin and themes from trusted stores. And if you are like coding your own theme, then make sure it should be well coded, properly sanitize all inputs, and make sure you have you are following proper WordPress guidelines. Second thing, like all forms data, all input fields data should be properly validated. Like on front end, you can use jQuery validation. Then in PHP side, you should use WordPress sanitizations. And then at the point of database, then make sure you use prepare statements. So like these are the three steps using that we can stop hackers. And the another point is like always use SSL, which like it's the first thing which protect your website from hackers. So always make ensure like your website have proper SSL certificate installed, and it's working properly. Yeah. So these are the simple but very powerful things which we need to take care. And yeah, so these are the basic things.
Got it. Got it. And I think maybe back to you, Kshitij, right? I think you have since the beginning of the webinar as well, you've had a very strong opinion on this, right? No plugins. And that's what you're trying to build as well. So is that even possible, right? Can I get rid of all my plugins?
Okay. So when I say like no plugins, so I say no plugins around security and a bit about performance as well. So uh, for functionality enhancement and all those things, plugins will be required anyway. So yeah, so it's security, like I mentioned, for firewall, scanners, those kind of things, and blocking resources as well. You don't require plugin. It is additional layer, PHP layer. Your request will go there, and like again, as I mentioned, PHP is not built for that good for these kind of processes. So those things can be avoided and can be done on this layer itself,
Got it.
hosting layer.
Got it. But I think as we were going through the demo as well, right? Some of these things could be very complex for a user to understand, right? So, and most of us just go ahead and pick out a plugin, add it to our website. That's a very easy thing to do. What does having no plugins or less number of plugins around security and performance get me? What are the benefits that it offers me really?
Right. So that's the thing. Like first thing is like PHP, again, that one additional layer will be removed. On server level, it will be very fast and more effective. And apart from that, again, basically to increase security, you are again installing a plugin, and then to main again, then you'll have to update the same process that you have to do for other plugins as well. You will have to do here as well. So yeah, so I mean, this becomes actually this becomes disadvantage, and I will probably add one more example here. So similarly, like I saw one website which got hacked. It was a huge website, and it got hacked. I was going for scanner, generic scanner, plugin based scanner. It was taking 6 hours to scan all the files, and PHP again, like after some time, the process was exiting. I had to change timeout. I had to change like other things as well in the background, right? Eventually, what I did, I literally migrated that to CloudFront. I ran malware scanner from the hosting, our platform. We got all the change data. We reinstated all those change data, and hacking, I mean, that was the hacking. The files and everything was changed. Once we reinstated all those things, everything started working perfectly. All the plugins were restored, all the core files were restored. And then we went ahead by cleaning and doing other things. So literally that hosting thing saved us a lot of time, and I literally wasted like 1 or 2 days just for that generic scanner on this hosting. And then I asked them to move with us, and then we fixed those issues and all.
Got it.
Yeah.
Guys, I think Zoom has also given us a time check. We just have 8 minutes for our planned session. So maybe moving on, right, on the maintenance part. So the last point, really, regular maintenance and updates, Sunil. Why is this so important?
lot of like these updates, like WordPress core theme and plugins comes with improved security and fix and like if we have any vulnerabilities in our old version, then we fix them using updates. So like not updating these things on your site, it's like leave your website open for vulnerabilities and open for hackers. So I just want to say that if store owners do not check updates on a daily basis or weekly basis, I just want to say like at least every month you should do update like WordPress core, WordPress theme, and WordPress plugin. And if you are checking about WordPress release, then if you get notified like this version about security update, then do it as soon as possible. Like security updates are more crucial part for every software. So yeah,
Got
uh,
it. So those should be prioritized. That's what you're
yeah.
alluding to. Got it. Got it. Kshitij, any thoughts on this? Anything you want to add here?
Yeah, I just want to add one more thing. So like proactive monitoring, as Sunil mentioned, right? That we have to keep on checking and have proper eye on that. There's one Jetpack plugin as well for that. It's called Jetpack Protect. It's a really good plugin. You install that, and it will on daily basis it will scan basically if your plugins have any vulnerability. It has like Jetpack has their own database, and if there is any issue, you will be able to see that. So yeah, and then you can go ahead and fixing or like removing the plugin as per use case. So before starting only, you will have that control view, complete view basically around plugins and themes. So maybe like that plugin I would probably add here.
Awesome. Cool. I think thanks so much, guys. And just the last 5 minutes, any closing thoughts you have? Anything else you want to share here? Just to conclude, Sunil, maybe you want to take this first.
Yeah, so at my end, like I just want to say that if you are using any plugin or theme, and like use only those plugins you really need. Like if you need any plugin which without that you can't complete your website, then use it. Otherwise, leave it. Okay, and then also make sure you get them from trusted source. Like for example, I can say Theme Forest is a good one, and but most important thing is like hosting. So always make sure you choose a hosting which provide better performance, better security, and better caching. So yeah, that way you can run your website very smoothly, and you can say tension free. Like if we get hacked, then it's really hectic for everyone and get back to on track. So yeah,
Got it.
that's it from my side.
Got it. Got it. Thanks, Sunil. Thank you so much for your
Thank
time.
you.
And Kshitij, any closing thoughts?
Yeah, I guess we can probably promote our platform here. So as I mentioned that CloudFront is built in with like amazing security features that uh, users should have. I feel that should be provided by hosting themselves, and the users are relying a lot on plugins to have those. So just check our platform once, and we provide free credits. You can deploy the server and use the server. You can go through all those features. If you have any doubts, you can connect with us, and yeah, we would love to help you. Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. Thank you so much. And thank you, everybody, for watching this. We keep on doing sessions like these. You would find some of these in our on demand library as well. We'd encourage you to go through all of our sessions, attend some of our live sessions as well. You can ask your questions in those sessions. We look forward to seeing you for the next one. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you,
Thank you,
Santu,
everyone.
for having me here. Thank you so much. Thank you, Chase. Yep.
Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.